This week is the second video from my watercolor basics for beginners series. So in the first video we talked about all our supplies, and today I want to talk about the colors and what is color wheel, what does it mean, and how to make one. So you can make warm and cool watercolor wheel, and today I will focus only on one of them so you can understand what it means, and then maybe in another video we can compare both, but let's focus on the colors. Now we have three primary colors. These are the only primary colors you have, so yellow, red and blue. You cannot create a primary color using any other colors, so you basically use the primary colors to create all the other colors. I watched some videos that they were showing how you can trick this, but let's not go into details and let's just focus on the main stuff. For today's video I will use three colors from my palette. The first one will be cobalt blue. So I just drew the circle, so one small circles I have on this side. Let me just zoom in. And this one I have 6 parts inside, and I have a big one where we are gonna mix more colors, and in the big one I have 12 parts. So here in the small one I will put my primary colors. So the first one is my blue, and I use cobalt blue as I already said. So I will just paint one of my segments. I just add water close to my edge, and then I add water to blend it out, so like this. Okay, the second color, the second primary color that I will use from my palette, instead of red I will use rose, just because it's a more cool color and it will create great secondary colors. But you can also use just the primary red. I just don't have primary red, so I am using this one. So you put your second primary color not on the next segment, but one apart. So you basically skip one piece and then continue on the next one. And my third color will be primary yellow. And I put it over here. Before you continue to the segments in between, you better wait for these to dry, otherwise the paint will bleed. What I mean when I say bleed, so let me just show you. If I have one pigment that is still wet and I want to add another one, then you can see that they will bleed in between. So basically you will have the secondary color in between. So that's one way to mix your color, just directly on the paper when they are still wet. So I don't really want to have this effect here, so I will wait for this to dry while this is happening. Colors, so we have this one, then we have this one, and we have the yellow. Okay. Now let's create our secondary color. So when you mix these two, you will get the secondary color here. So this means that you will need the same amount of these two colors, so yellow and blue. And when you have 50-50, you will get this green. And this is called a secondary color. And you put it in between these two primary colors that you just used to mix this one. Okay, we do the same with the next primary colors. So let's say the blue and the red. In my case, pink, or yeah, rose lake I'm using for my red primary. So we grab blue. I wash my brush and then I grab same amount of pink or red, and we are supposed to have a nice purple color, which is our next secondary color. And if you are hearing some strange sounds on the background, that's my laundry machine. So I'm also doing laundry while working, but if you are following me for quite a while, you probably already know that. Okay, so we grab again the same amount of these two, a little bit of water, so we can mix. I have a feeling my yellow is just slightly less than the red. Then I grab this paint and I put it here in between these two. Okay. Every single color has warm and a cool version. But when we look at this, you can imagine that these are the warm and this is the cool part. So everything related to the sun, the fire, such things, we call them warm colors, and the rest, like grass and water, they are gonna be our cool colors. So we say that this is a secondary color, This is as well a secondary color, the green. And the orange is also a secondary color. And now I want to upgrade this version into a bigger one where I have 12 pieces here, and I want to show you also the tertiary colors and how to make them. So now that we have the color wheel and we know the primary and secondary colors, now I want to upgrade this to a bigger one where I'm gonna show you how to get the tertiary colors. And a tertiary color is a mix between a primary and a secondary color. So for this we are going to need a circle that is divided by 12 pieces. And the first step is to add our primary colors, and the first one is cobalt blue here. Okay, the second one will be my red, which is in my case a rose lake, and instead of skipping one piece we have to skip 3 and then add our primary color. Okay, our third color is going to be yellow, and I have my primary yellow here, so we skip 3 and we add our third primary color, like this. Now the second step will be to add our secondary colors, and because I already have them here, I will just use what I already have. If they are dry, you can reactivate it by using just some water. So green was made from yellow and blue, so we skip one pigment. I have paint on my hand, that's okay. So we skip one pigment and then we add our green. Like this. Then the next secondary color is our blue and red mix. So I am reactivating my purple and I add it here. So I skip one part and then I add it in between, like this. Okay, and the last secondary color was orange, so I just use the mix I already have on my palette and I add it here in the middle between red and yellow. You are probably asking why now my orange is lighter than what I had before. It's just because I add more water, and water just lighten your color. Okay, and now the interesting part. So we are gonna make tertiary colors, which means we mix a primary and a secondary color. So let's see if I can just reuse this, and let's make orange and red. So I just grab a little bit of red and add it here to my orange. I will try to grab the whole paint and add it here. Because my orange is still wet, I will try just to not touch it. So you can see I have a nice light red. So like this, and when you add even more blue to this purple, then you get more blue purple, and this is how you can get even more different colors. The next one will be the one between blue and green. So I already have some green. I will just grab a bit more blue and add here. Then I will try to grab all this paint. You can definitely mix more if you want. So you can see this nice foresty green. It's quite a nice color. Okay, like this. And then I want more green, so I will just grab more yellow and a bit more blue to have more of this green. And then I will just add a lot more yellow, because we are mixing now green and yellow, so it will be this, it's supposed to be a very fresh yellow. Like this. You can see how many colors you can make just by having only 3 colors on your palette. And the last is yellow and orange. So let's quickly mix a little bit of orange because I am out of it, and then we add even more yellow. So we are gonna have this dark yellow or very light orange. Let's see, let's put it here. So I think I have to add more yellow to it and a bit more water. Okay. Something like this. I think my orange here is very light, so I will just redo it by adding just new orange. So I am mixing my orange, a bit more yellow, here, because it's just too transparent and we can't really see the difference between the tertiary and the secondary color. So I will just do it one more time, like this. Okay, so now we have all our primary colors, all the secondary colors, and then we have the tertiary colors. Complementary colors are colors that stay against each other. So in this case, let's say, wait, let me just wash my brush. So we have purple against yellow. These are our complementary colors. Green and red, blue and orange. And by mixing them, let me show you. Let's say we have orange, and we said that the complementary color of orange is blue. So let's grab a little bit of blue and add it here. So you have this kind of a brownish gray color. So let me just make some space here. So this is the color that you get when you mix complementary color. So let's say this is from orange and blue. Let's say we want to check what we are gonna have when we have red and green. So let's just mix some of the red we have, and then the green we have here. So we grab some green, we add it here. And we have another type of brown, but it's more warm brown. So here on the wheel, the color wheel, we don't have any brown, and that's how we get. So we said we add some green. Maybe it's not really visible. Let's make it like this. So green and our red. And the last group will be yellow and purple. So let's say we have some kind of a purple here. Maybe we can mix a little bit more. And purple we know we make from red and blue. I wash my brush and grab some yellow. So here is another tone, another type of brownish color. Very nice and earth kind of a color. So we got this by using purple and yellow. Okay, I dried my brush and I will just put this science here so it's visible. Okay, I think that's for today. We learned about the color wheel and how to make one. We learned how to mix different colors. We learned what is primary, secondary color, and how to get the tertiary colors, and then how we can get different brownish. And we learned what are complementary colors. So yeah, that's quite a lot. In the next video next week, I will show you how to get to know your palette when you just start up with watercolor. So don't miss this video out. I hope you enjoyed this video and I want to thank you so much for watching it. If you don't want to miss anything, just make sure to subscribe and push the button with the bell so you don't miss new videos that are coming. I hope to see you then. Bye!